Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with BBQ Champs Academy Live, and we are glad to be back with you. We got a huge show lined up for you tonight with Phil Breeden, LC BBQ, and Tracee and Amy with Crooked Crown Cookers. These ladies have been on absolute fire, and we're excited to hear from them. We had them on a couple months ago after they got their first grand champion, and man, since then they have been ripping RGC's grand champions, and I think almost every cook-off they've had has been in the top 5, maybe with an exception of one. So we felt like it was only great to get them back. We don't see a whole lot of ladies competing in the competition circuit, and when they are as red hot as these gals are, it was time to get them back on. So we're going to give everybody just a few moments to come in, and hopefully everything's coming in loud and clear on y'all's end. Let's see. Of course, we got Gordon. He always gets it for the first one being aboard. Gordon, I hope you're doing well and hope everybody can hear us all right. I see we got a few folks joining in. There's Mr. Bobby Stewart. Thank you, Bobby, for being with us tonight, and I hope you are doing well. So, if you come in, once again, please let us know. We'll pop you in and see where you're from. If you post where you're from, we always kind of like to see where our coverage is reaching. Man, we've reached from coast to coast quite a bit, and it's always fun to see where everybody's at when they come in. Mark, glad to have you. Yes, I'm glad to be back. It's been a busy week, last couple weeks here at BBQ Champs, and we are really excited to be back. We got folks rolling in right now, so thank you, Martin. Thank you for being on our show. Darian, thank you for being with us, doing well. We had some beautiful weather the last week and beautiful 60, 62 degree nights and no humidity, and we don't see that very often here in Louisiana. But it has started to warm up a little bit, and things have been going very well. So I've been doing some maintenance on the trailer, getting it ready. We're going to be heading up to the American Royal this year. If you haven't noticed, and I didn't notice this until Lee Hickle had pointed it out to me, but registration is opened up for the American Royal. And I thought they usually send out an email, and I've checked my email 2 or 3 times. They said it was supposed to open up registration on May the 23rd. And Lee got a notification or something through Facebook, and he sent me the link today and said registration is open, and he clicked it. And when he did, I clicked it. Registration was open, so I was very shocked to see that. But I've used the cooler weather to service the generator, do some maintenance and stuff that needed to be done, and kind of getting everything ready for the back end of the season. So, Deborah, thank you. Howdy from San Antonio, friends of Amy and Tracee. Awesome. Emlyn, thank you for being here, all the way from Marietta, Georgia. Dan, how are you doing? Let's see if we can get this to click and try that again. These mouses sometimes have a mind of their own. There we go. Dan, glad to have you with us. I saw you had some beautiful tomatoes that look like you grown. And beefsteak's one of my favorite. Looks like the birds may have got a hold of them. Pie plates seem to work really well. I remember when I was a young type, we always had pie plates tied up everywhere to keep the birds away from them. So maybe try that. John, great to have you with us all the way from Wisconsin. Hope things are going good for you. Keith, we appreciate you being here. And Craig, thank you for joining us tonight. I haven't seen you on in a while. Steven, appreciate you being with us. Mac Daddy Q in the house. Hello from Saginaw, Texas. So who else we got? Michael Sanders on. Appreciate you being in on the show tonight, Michael. Thank you for joining us. So who else we got? Jeffrey's on here. What's up, brother? How you doing? Things have been going good for us. Hope things have been going well for you also. Mickey Lang from Conroe, Texas. Lang's Bad to the Bone Barbecue. Thank you for joining us. Miss Brenda, how are you doing? Nice to see you too, sweetie. Hope all is well. Keep the pictures coming. Poke Gordon every once in a while. See if you can get him to smile a little bit more. Doug, all the way from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Thank you for joining us tonight, Doug. We got quite a few folks steadily coming in, and we got, once again, a great show lined up for everybody tonight. We're getting ready for a competition coming up. Not this weekend, I'm off, but the weekend after, June 9th and 10th, Lord willing, we're going to be going over to Minden, Louisiana, about 40 miles from Shreveport, one of my favorite little competitions to go to, and see if we can get us a GC over there. I've had a RGC last year, GC the year before. They seem to like my food over there, so we're going to see if perhaps we can get lucky enough to get a bung in Louisiana. I haven't got one in the bung as of yet, but I'm hoping to get one here soon. So let's see. Am I going to Parker's Landing? No, a little too far for me. I looked at it on the schedule, and just with the payout and as far as we've got to drive, it's just not going to work out. That's just too far to go. So anyway, who else we got on here? Anybody else on? I think we've got most everybody covered. Got about 23 on so far. And give everybody just a few more minutes. And I hope everybody enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend. I did absolutely nothing. Everybody, you going to cook? No. I didn't care about cooking. And I just kicked back and relaxed and enjoyed the day. Had a lot of fun. So, hey there, all the way from Dungale, Pennsylvania. Did I mess that up? Glad to have you here from Pennsylvania. Man, we got folks from everywhere, Sam. Thank you for being with us. Danny Titus, I know he's down there close to Lafayette, Louisiana. Good evening, Master Cook Mike. You're funny. Oh, goodness gracious. And we're looking forward to Danny coming up. He's going to come up next Thursday and he's got a big trailer like mine. He'll pull in here, and we got plenty of room at the facilities here at the house. And then he's going to mosey on over to Minden, Louisiana with us Friday morning, be next Friday. They don't open the streets up or close the streets off. I think about 7 o'clock they'll close the streets off and let us in. It's a cool deal in Minden. It's a small little town, and they close off Main Street and let all the cookers come in. It's a really neat town. I've seen some buildings. It was built in the late 1900s, and the roads are pretty cool. They're all brick on the Main Street right there in downtown. So fun little cook-off. They do a big fireworks show, have a lot of vendors come out, and we always enjoy it. A lot of good restaurants to eat when we're there, and literally just you can walk right to them. Some of them you're parked right in front of. So who else we got here? Got Chris from Connecticut. Thank you, Chris, for being with us. We got Paul with us. Minden is a hot one. Yep, it always is, but it's always fun, and we've always enjoyed it. Love supporting the little small towns like that, and they have a really good payout as well, and it makes it worthwhile to get out and go and support these little small towns, and they take care of the cookers in every fashion as well, so we're looking forward to it. Well, without further ado, looks like we got about 30 folks on here, just steadily trying to give people a few minutes to come in. And we're going to real quick thank our partners. We're so thankful for Prairie Fresh, Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Mr. Brian Crawford. He's got some great product himself. Texas Select Seasoning, Mr. Wild Bill, David with Gunnar Wilhelm Knives. If you're ever looking for a really good knife that's a very inexpensive knife compared to some of them out there, take a look at these Gunnar Wilhelm knives. They are a wicked sharp and hold an edge as good as some of my $200 knives. So take a look at them. As always, we love Mr. Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store and all the support he shows. For the cooks, Mr. John Lindsay with All Queued Up, and Miss Gail with Daigle's Barbecue, sauces and glazes, some of the best stuff I've used. And we really do appreciate all these guys' support. So without further ado, we're going to jump in here. And we're going to bring in Mr. Phil Breeden. And let me get my stuff over here. Bring the guy in himself. He has been on a tear as well. Thank you, brother, for being with us. Glad to have you, man.
Yeah, glad to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Phil. Man, you've been a great cook, great friend, and it's just awesome to see what you did, especially after your big weekend that you had this past weekend. Man, big kudos there. Tomball, great cook-off. Got a third place day one and GC day two, and got the overall. So I know that had to make you feel pretty happy.
Yeah, man. Shit. Anytime you can come away with those results, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, and it didn't hurt till we see Reed, rolling up there and just showing out as well. So we're gonna have a cameo now here in just a minute with Reed. I've done mic'd him up, got him ready, and I told Phil we're gonna have to slide Reed in. He's gonna probably take the show away and steal it. So, but we can't wait to. We can't wait to hear
he'll take the chair and everything.
Oh, yeah. He'll probably just bump you right out of the way. Yeah. Also, we have got two young ladies on here that have been absolutely red hot. Amy and Tracee with Crooked Crown Cookers. Say that 3 times fast. The triple C's are in the house. And we had this team on, I guess it was about 2 months ago. We were so excited to see that they got their first grand champion. They fought so hard to get it. And I told them, I said, and when the first one comes, they start to fall in place. And Tracee, first question for you. And you knew this was probably going to come.
Yeah.
If I recall very clear, as soon as y'all won that, the whole show was like, it's time to retire. We need to quit. Time to hang it up. And Amy's going, nope, that ain't going to happen. And you're like, no, we really need to quit. So, Tracee, now 2 months later, we're trying to just do some rough math because I've kind of lost count, but I know it's at least 2 grand champions, probably at least 3 or 4 reserve grand champions. The third place, I think maybe everything else has been in the top 5 that I can recall. This is out of 8 weeks of cooking. Kind of been tearing it up, literally. You want to back that statement up? It's time to retire, because I'm sure Amy's like, there ain't. You thought last time there ain't no way now. So Amy, I'm going to kind of let y'all talk a little bit about that and how that discussion's been going because we're all ears.
There's no discussion. It's miscompetitive. We're rolling.
I'm gaining more and more people on my side that say, keep going, be consistent. You're showing your consistency. And so I'm like, well, we can't stop. We're going to let everybody down. We have to keep going.
It would be a big letdown to me. I mean, because every Sunday, I'm scrolling through Facebook, on the feeds, looking at everybody, Phil GC, RGC, but then all of a sudden in the last, 6-8 weeks, like, RGC, grand champion. Like, who are you talking about? And I said, the ladies. And like, so now, like, the first 2 weeks went by, and it was just one after another. And then Suzette is like, how the ladies do? And I was like, and every Sunday, she's like, how did the ladies do? And I was like, she loved y'all. Y'all were, like, so awesome. And I was like, well, they got another RGC. And they got another RGC. They got a grand champion. He's like, oh my gosh, they're on fire. And I was like, they're killing it. So, tell us how this has been. Literally, you was kind of working up to it. You got your first GC, but over the last 8 weeks, tell us a little bit about it.
Every week, it just seems it's an emotional roller coaster and it's addicting. So I get why people like Phil have been doing this as long as they've been doing it because it's a drug. So it's just it's amazing every week to see, how we land and how we come out, and we tweak a few things here and there, but we're really staying consistent with our recipes. We're not changing anything up. We're just putting it in the box. So we're not overthinking it. Quit doing that. That sucks the fun out of it. So we cook what we cook, and if they like it, they like it. And thankfully, where we've been, they've enjoyed our food. But it's surreal.
Having fun. Just having fun. The people. It's that's the biggest thing when they're cheering louder for you when you get that call or standing up and hugging you. You're just like it's just great.
And this last weekend, Michelle and Adam have been really great mentors of ours. And our first class we took was from Michelle. And this was the first time we've been at the same cook-off. And so she actually videoed the video I posted is her video, catching our reaction to the call. And it was so amazing, the pride in her face for us. And just, to be there and share that moment with them was really awesome. And we had some friends there. And so it was fun to celebrate that. And the first GC will always be special, but this last weekend was really special for us.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say hold my beer. It was just throw my beer.
Yeah, she
when
did.
They
she
called
threw
us.
it.
I was like, what? Like,
you serious? She threw it.
Wow. Like, how many teams was there?
58 is what we think.
58 teams. Wow.
It was 60 at the Cooks meeting, so I don't know if it was just a raw estimate or whatever, but I've seen 58 posted.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that one of your biggest competitions you've won yet?
Yes.
Yeah. That is incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Still just like
what a ride. Now, Tracee, I heard you say that you're really excited and everybody's coming up to you and you're so excited you threw your beer. Did we really want to quit now?
Not this year.
Not this year. All right, Amy, we got it out of her. She finally said, not this.
IBCA, see where we land.
Yeah.
We're going to
Okay.
do Danny Dietz. And, we got invited to the Royal, and we have no expectations on that. But, man, what an experience. That's going to be a lifetime experience. So we're going to go.
Absolutely.
Man, those are
Y'all,
the
Why
funnest
not?
walks.
Be
funnest
able to
walk.
root
With
for
no
the Texas
expectations.
teams.
Trust me.
say that
So-
again, Phil.
I said those are the funnest walks, the ones where you have zero expectations of walking and you walk.
Yeah.
We're just going to go see what we heard so much about it, and we're just,
Oh, it's a great experience. The American Royal is my favorite contest that I cook annually. So if I could only cook one, it'd be the Royal.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So are y'all
We're a
going to
little
go?
intimidated because we've never done a KCBS.
Hey, okay.
So- Yeah.
Here
Man,
we
I
go.
never did a KCBS till I did the Royal.
Okay, I did the same
2018,
thing. Yep.
It was American
Okay.
Royal. And it was
There
my
you
first.
go.
And I
Yep.
walked day one with a fourth in pork.
oh, my God, I love it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty we didn't expect to walk at the Royal. We never even done a KCBS, and man, I threw my
Yep.
beer at that contest. I've thrown it in a
Yep.
couple, but that was a beer chunker.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, there you go.
And I think Mike did pretty good at his first time at the
Yeah.
Royal, huh, Mike?
First one I
How'd
ever
that
went
go?
to, 2017. No way you would have ever told me when I had started competing 3 years prior to that or 4 years prior to that, that I would be cooking at the American Royal. And my Suzette was like, why are we going to? And I was like, there's no way. It's the biggest barbecue competition in the world. Like, there's no way you would have ever told me 3 or 4 years ago I'd be cooking at the American Royal. And she was like, well, okay, we'll go then. And she said, well, don't you want to go cook a KCBS just so you'll know? I was like, nope, I'm going to show up and I'm going to go cook. She said, well, you going to practice? I was like, what I need to practice? I think I cooked some chicken thighs because I had never cooked chicken thighs. I said, I ain't practicing my ribs. I ain't practicing my brisket. Just pull it off just a touch earlier. Not much. I'll tell you right now, don't pull it off much earlier. And I had cooked one pork butt my entire life. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks before we had decided to go. And that was the only time I ever cooked a pork butt. I get there, 100 and let's see, it was the invitation. I qualified for the invitation. I think there was 120 teams. We had a 7th place pork, had a 19th place brisket. All my scores was in the 170 plus, and I finished 19th overall at 120 teams. I was like, I'm ready to quit. I'm done. I didn't even care about cooking.
No.
I think
So-
didn't you have like a 696 or something, Mike?
Yeah, 696.54. Sure did.
Man,
Yeah.
have you ever topped your 696 in KCBS?
I've never cooked outside the only competition I've ever done is the American Royal. I've never cooked a KCBS outside it. Never. And that was and we went.
Royal, might as well just stick to the
Just
Royal.
stick to the Royal. I mean, we went and I had a great time. Even the next day in the Open, I was so stuck. I'm going to cook the Open now. I ended up having a 505 teams. I had a 25th place, 27th place. I had a 24th place brisket day 1, 27th place brisket day 2. I finished like 96th out of 500 teams. I was like,
wow.
man, to be in the top deadgum quarter of the field, I was like, heck yeah, man, this is great. I didn't go back again until 2021. And I went back last year. And now it's just like, we love it. It is, it's fun. Me and Phil and seeing all the Texas cookers that's there and man, go and have a blast. Just go have a blast. So
We're going to do the Danny Dietz as a KCBS like 2 weeks before. And so that'll be our practice trial run
There you
to
go.
get right before.
Yeah.
there
The
you go.
30-minute turn-ins makes us a little, we just got to get on track with that.
I'm a planner and I know by the minute
Yep.
where I'm at, what I've got to be doing, and I like to turn in on the hour.
On the hour. Yep.
Not early. I don't want my food sitting there. I want it on the hour. And I'll
Well,
even hold it a little bit if we're real close. So.
At the Royal, I would say your first year, you just be at the front because those turn-ins, get it in. Because if you ever get behind, you're never going to get caught up. Make that chicken. I mean, I put that chicken in the box at 11:50, and I told Suzette, go. And because it was almost a 5-minute walk for her. And so that gave me enough time to get my ribs. I got my ribs done. They went in the box at like 12:20. I said, go. Now I've got enough time to process my pork out. And then I stayed ahead. So that was the one thing I would tell you. Now, unless if you're somebody like Bill Purvis or Phil, I got it. When you do a bunch of them, it's easy. But when you don't, you make sure you don't miss that turn in time, especially if you ever get behind on the first two, you'll never get caught up, and then you're gonna be upset. So just time everything out. Make sure you know your process of how you're gonna do it. Phil, you got any advice for him? What would you say?
Yeah, I would just say, work on your timeline, come up with a game plan, work your game plan. I mean, it'd be nice. You can always take a random day of the whatever Saturday and just pretend it's a KCBS and turn in the same way. Give yourself time to box. Boxing takes longer than you think. The 30-minute turn-ins, Mike's right, and probably be on the front of the window. When they judge chicken, man, they're going to go bring that box straight to a table and judge it. So if you're at 11:55, it's going to get judged at 11:55. And it's only a 10-minute window in KCBS, 5 before and 5 after. So I wouldn't sweat as much about, it's a little bit different in IBCA when it's 10 before, 10 after. Yeah, it's 20 minutes. And if you turn in at 11:50 and you turn in at 12:09, that's 19 minutes. And that's a big difference, right? Well, it's not that big on KCBS. I think they still do some sort of, I don't think you can hit the same table as somebody else at the KCBS. So then ribs, you'll have to hold to, but on the chicken, they're going to start judging that chicken as soon as it's turned in. So work the timelines and give yourself enough time to kind of get some of that anxiety off your back. Make sure your meats are done to tenderness. Tenderness is king in KCBS, and get them done to tenderness. And then you're just boxing and figure out how much time that takes you guys.
Mm-hmm. Get your meats done early enough that you can rest them. My brisket was done 2 hours before I knew I even had to do it. I don't mind a 2 hour.
Yeah, I mean, you're
rest.
only turning in from noon to 1:30, so you have an hour and a half of turn in times, and really everything needs to be done before chicken turn in, right? You can't be cooking after, right? So you got to be rested, and then you just whatever your finishing process is. Mine's kind of complicated, or it's a little easier to fit into the CBA timeline with an hour in between. It's really perfect for me. So, me finishing on KCBS, I'm really, I'm always a meet ahead of whatever I'm doing, getting ready to box those.
Is be a boxing.
You kind of got to be. I have to juggle, but man, I've done a bunch of them and kind of know that timeline in my brain. But it wasn't the easiest thing to pick up on. I had to kind of learn all that stuff or whatever. So it can eat you up on time. So
he's right. You have everything done before you're jacking with that chicken, and then all you got to do is
go have fun with it. Don't go with any expectations for the roll. I mean, take away whatever win you have. If it's a 19th chicken, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? If you get a walk at the roll, it's just I'm telling you, it'll be.
Oh my God,
just cheer for you guys.
Man. You're at the Kansas City Speedway. It's a huge track, man. They got a huge stage with, man, like a big screen, and then, man, like a dozen gigantic speakers hanging off of both sides. So there's a lot of energy. It's a big crowd.
Oh yeah.
We watched this live
and the Texas team love to support Texas teams. So
absolutely.
And the rest of the country kind of likes to hate on Texas.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And there's just happens to be somebody that's walked that big stage, and we probably need to get him in because there's not everybody that's been on the big stage, right? I think we need to. Yes, Phil, it's time to make a hey, he's on over here. So, I mean, look, we all dream of walking the big stage, and then there's others that just, they roll up the first time, they show up, they show out, and where's he at? Where's my man at?
We're rounding him up. I think he's into finger paints on the porch or something. I don't know.
He shouldn't have ran off. So,
get in here. For you,
here we go. There we go. Here we go. No, look, we were just talking about, the American Royal. This young man right here. I mean, if you want to know, he's a world champion. Okay, let's go on and get that. He shows up and shows out first time. Like, hey, I got this. It's no big deal. He even told me, I got a good chance. I'm going to win this deal, and he won it. So, Reed, brother, man. We all love you. You know that? Like you're like you're everybody's kid. You might belong to Phil and Carmen, but you're everybody's kid. So congratulations on your weekend. I think you had another first place in the pork chop. Was it a pork chop you cooked?
No, it's chicken wings.
Chicken wings. Okay. Golly, I was wanting to know how to cook chicken wings this dang week. I was like, man, Monday I don't want to barbecue nothing, but I ain't cooked no chicken wings in forever. I don't even know a good recipe. I should have there. Now I know. Call Reed and I get a dadgum chicken wing recipe. So that's freaking awesome, Reed. So you're gonna be going to the Royal this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to try to. Now, last year, I don't remember. I know you won it in 21, world champion.
So
last year,
19 was his 19 was his first year because he turned 6 on September 6th, and you had to be 6 by September 1st. So he was
6 years old. He's cooking the Royal
in 6 days.
Yeah,
and, that was his first time cooking the Royal, and he reserved it that year.
He got reserved. Oh my gosh, I did not even know that.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, 6 at 6 years old he gets reserved. Then he comes 2020 he couldn't cook because it was COVID. He comes back in 2021. He gets he world champion. There we go. He's right there. So wow.
Last year he went back to defend that. And man, he cooked really good. I think he had what do you have?
5th or
6.
6th?
He was 6 last year.
6, man.
Yeah, man, he had the Food Network filming him and all them cameras jammed up on him.
Oh, he probably was digging. He was probably digging that. So.
Oh yeah, he's like, man,
that is awesome.
Where's all the rest of the cameras? Let's get some more over here.
Yeah, let's get some. So let me get this right. He's cooked 1, 2, 3 times. He's had a RGC, World Champion GC, and a 6th place. God, dog. Yeah. Okay, we all want to be like Reed. So, wow. Okay, Reed, how old are you?
9.
9. So let me do this right. 9, he can start cooking probably at 18. So that's 9 years. So I'm 60 years. So 69. So good. I may be out of it by the time he shows up. I'm just trying, because all I can tell you is I can only imagine when he hits 18 years old and he starts cooking the comp, he's going to blister all of us. We probably ain't even got a chance.
See, I'm not like Tracee. I know when my retirement date is. It's when he turns 18.
That's it.
I got 9 years left.
That's what I was that's what I was calculating. 69, I'll be done. I'll be on the sidelines.
I'll go for the ride. I'll hang out. Man, I'll do a little bit of coaching, but man,
that's it.
I was going to do all that work.
Bubba's got it. Oh, wow. That is crazy. Wow. Well, Reed, man, congratulations, brother. We always are just rooting you on. You're such a well-respected young man and a very well-mannered. Suzette loves you to death, and I do too. And I'm sure she's going to have a toy for you, as she always does. Suzette's got a trailer that is stacked full of, I don't care who it is. Oh, I got something for him. I got something for her. So I'm sure she's going to have something for you again at the Royal this year. So anyway, love you, Reed. I'll let you get back to your finger painting, brother.
Thank you.
Be good. Oh goodness, he is so awesome. Oh, there's the champ right there. He's done so. Everybody's probably gonna start checking out now. They done seen Reed, so let's see.
He went back outside, but this is funny. So he won that back in 21, and man, for like the next probably 6 or 8 months, it didn't matter where we went. We go to dinner, and the waitress comes up. Oh, I'm a world champion. He would just tell he is not bashful about throwing out world champion. Don't play me.
I love it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Hey, you know what? If I was at his age, I would have told everybody the same thing. I'm a world champ. He's not. Dad's trying to be like me. Wow.
That's so cool.
Wow. Cool. What a story. That is so awesome. Well, I'm sure that he'll do very well. All right, Phil, did you know registration has opened up for the American Royal?
Man, I didn't know that, but you were talking about it, Mike, and man, while you were, I sent myself an email to in the morning go register because I didn't know that either.
I didn't know it.
It seems like it's June now, so yeah, I guess it's time to,
I guess, but I haven't seen an email. And give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna kind of be looking at my screen. I'm gonna see if I can get the link that Lee sent me and see if there's a way I can get that and post that. So give me 1 second here. It's this. Can I copy that?
But I would say even more important than that, make sure if you need some hotel arrangements to knock that out.
Oh,
I think I booked
yes.
mine like
Yes.
4 or 5 months ago. So
Right. Absolutely.
and it just gets a
Yeah.
little further away with time. So
Yep.
something to think about.
Get registered early. All right. I'm going to drop this in the link. This should get y'all there. I'm just going to put link to ARREG registration. How bad did I butcher it? Did I get that right? Registration. Looks like I did. And paste. And there you go. Come on, baby. Load up for daddy. There we go. All right. Now you can click that link, Phil. Y'all can click it now, and it'll open up in your deal, and you've got
nice.
it. So,
Thanks.
ladies, y'all might want to do that just so y'all will have it, and you can go in and register. So it's open, and if anybody else is wanting to cook the American Royal, if you don't want to have to wait for the link, I'm surprised that they posted it there and hadn't sent the email out yet, but. Get registered early, like Phil said. Couple pointers I'll give you gals is they give you options to get ice and stuff like that. Make sure you get plenty of ice. Last year I got 6 bags. I think I used 5. So you can pre-order it. They got a guy that'll run it around and bring it to you. So that's kind of nice to have. Y'all got a trailer? Y'all got a travel trailer? Okay. They do have some places that's got hookups, 30 amp hookups. They got RV spots that are 50 amp hookups. I don't think your trailer is big enough that you need a 50. So some of them don't have water. If you do go through quite a bit of water, if y'all are going to, do y'all stay in your trailer or do y'all sleep at a hotel?
Yeah, no, we stay.
Okay. You might like the RV spot because you do have a 30 amp plug and you have access to water. So that way you don't run out of water, because if you only got a 50-gallon tank, it's hard to make it for 2 days of cooking and some baths and stuff like that. So
do you sign up for a certain spot, or they assign you, or how does that work?
Well, like
you pick
today,
by the size.
yeah, you pick it by size, and if you want the RV spot, it's an 18.5 by 50 foot spot. It comes with a 50 and a 30 amp plug and water.
Okay.
And you can get there on Wednesday. I mean, Power's already on Wednesday. They're one of the ones that you can get water there. So
Did you say 50 gallons, Mike? 50 gallons?
Huh?
Did you say 50 gallons? You have 50 gallons?
Well, I don't know mine's 150 gallons. Theirs may only be a 50. Theirs may only
it's 100.
It's 100. Okay. So if you
I do my cook-offs on 4 gallons. I got that little bitty trailer.
well, now Phil, look, yeah, you can tell now. We got women. We got ladies here, Phil. They're going to take a bath. They're going to smell good. They're going to look good. They're going to wash dishes.
Well, they have showers there. They have showers at the.
That's true.
Go use their showers.
True.
I forgot about the showers. They do. So
I don't know the NASCAR terms, but the race, the buildings. There's 4 of them. Pit stop buildings or whatever.
Yeah.
They all have bathrooms and showers on the end. So
yeah, they do.
Oh, cool.
And they all those bay doors. Every single one has a spigot in between the door. So if you've got a way to transport some water, like mine being 4 gallons, I've got water jugs, and the same 4 water jugs for 6 months. I'm just refilling them up, and I just did a double on 4 gallons. So
you got 4-gallon water tank in your trailer, Phil?
Yeah.
Really?
I actually think it's like 3, Mike, and the holding tank.
If you're going to judge him, right?
And then he's got a long lines like NASCAR running to that fuel line 40 miles, so they'll have enough fuel in the tank. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it depends on. I've always adjusted to whatever I've had, and really, I've got that. It's a sink. It's on my back porch, and it's self-contained. It's got a little hot water heater in it, so it's just like a temporary little sink.
Right.
But man, I get screaming hot water out of that thing, and it's got like a 3-gallon holding tank and like a 4-gallon gray tank on it or whatever, and it's all self-contained. And man, before I was using that, I just used bottled water in a little jug. So I'm uptown now. Don't do spaces. But when I had bigger trailers, I had a 30-gallon tank, and man, I sure as shit I'd use 29 at a cook-off. Now that I got a 4, I use 39.
Well, y'all can look at your spots. When you go to register, it opens up like what spots you want. An 18.5 by 50 spot with electricity and everything is $1,000, but that does include both days' entry fees.
Okay.
So now they've got other spots that are a little cheaper. Phil, what do you pay for your spot? Do you recall? I mean, you just got a basic spot with no hookups or
Yeah,
nothing,
man.
right?
I got that little bitty miniature trailer or whatever. So I think I get a and what is it, like a 20 by 25, 20 by 30, 20. It's like 650 or $700 or something like that off the
Okay.
top of my head. You know, I think
So
the RV spots are 800 or 900 or whatever. And then,
yeah, the
you
RV
know, it
spot
kinda
like
depends
mine.
on- yeah, isn't that right? 800 or 900 for
It's
RV, something like that.
it's 1,000 today.
Okay,
Last year it was
1,000.
950. It went to 1,000 this year.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if Phil's is 700, you can spend $300 more, and you got full hookup, water, everything that you need. So it's up to whatever y'all want to do. Just understand the options are there for you. So.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And when you go to check out, it has all kind of options, ice, this, that. And if you want to not have to go get ice and bring it in, it's just nice they bring you big 20-pound
You can
bags
add
of
on a lot
ice.
of that stuff too. You'll get a American Roll Ambassador. They'll have like 20 teams in a certain area, and that's your person. And man, they're really nice. They take care of the cooks. Hey, you need anything? So I know first year, you know, talk to whoever your friends are, whoever's been. We'll all tell you. But I will say, for such a big event, last year we had 505 teams, and
Wow.
man, it's minimal. Like they're good at it, and there's hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that help run that cook-off, and they get all these teams in and all these teams out, and they do a good job, and they don't make you feel like you're, what are you doing? You know, hey, how can we help you? Here's your spot. So they're real nice. So you know, lean on
Very
those guys too.
Yep.
Well,
All right,
thank you.
Bill Purvis said his was $500 in his spot, and he has his trailer's about the size of Phil's. So
Yeah, I think he got like probably a 25 by 15 or something,
15,
just wherever his trailer would fit in, you know. So yeah, not too bad considering, and
Yep.
it's a double, so 2 days, and
Yep.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's fun. You'll have a
No
blast with it.
expectations. Just
Yeah.
go have a good time.
Yep.
Just make it there and make turn-ins.
That's it. That's it. Let's see. What classes have y'all taken to prepare yourselves for KCBS? All right, ladies, have y'all taken any classes to
0.
even prepare yourself?
0.
Okay.
That's next on the list.
Yeah.
That's next on the list. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
once
see.
we finish cooking in June, we're going to take a little time off in July and try to get some things squared away and
Get ready.
get rocking and rolling. But yeah,
Kit
Yeah,
Milk
that'll be-
has no
Always
water.
enjoy that first week of the month off too. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I
absolutely.
said after I get through with a points race. I'm gonna take some time off, and then 6 days goes by, and I'm back at it.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. No.
Kit Polk.
Randall gave us some good advice. It's just chicken. It's just chicken.
Yeah, don't overthink it. It's just chicken.
It's
So
just
that's-
chicken.
that's-
That's it.
It's just chicken.
Hi, Carissa. How are you doing, sweetie? So she says hi. Oh,
Carissa.
goodness gracious. It's going to be a good time. We're going to all have a good, I hope we have great weather. So far, every year I've been, we've always had good weather. I've never known what they're going to do if it is absolutely pouring down rain in awards. I don't know what they do on that. That would just be miserable. So, because the
I
awards.
can't believe you just mentioned that, Mike.
Oh, I know it.
It's
I
never
know.
rained
He's
in
gonna
awards,
jinx
and I've
it.
never heard anybody say what happens if it rains at awards, which means we're 100% guaranteed it's going to rain at awards this year.
Probably are.
Call it in. Call it in.
You ruin
Oh,
our
God.
At the Royal. I'm coming.
Man,
for
I'm going to
you.
go put my live stream up there and find some cover.
That's it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Like, yeah, call me when it's done. We'll go walk. Oh, I got a call. Let me run up there real quick. That's a good way to do it. So, but it's always been beautiful weather. It really has. It's
Yeah, they moved it back
Weather's-
2 weeks too, so now it's like the end of September, right there at
Yeah.
October 1st or whatever.
Yeah.
And, man, those 2 weeks make a big difference because the previous few years was pretty hot.
pretty hot. Yeah.
So last year was nice. It felt good.
Mike's fault. Yeah.
Mike's fault.
That's Mike's fault.
Everybody remember that.
That's right. If it happens, it's my fault. So,
Absolutely.
oh goodness. Well, Phil, let's talk a little bit about your stuff, brother. You have had a heck of a run, and an amazing year last year. We had you on a couple times last year. I hadn't probably had you on in 6 months or so, and I had to get you back. Big RG or grand champion this past weekend, third place as well, overall grand. How many state championships do you have so far for the year?
Right now, I got 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Need 3 more in 2 months.
Yeah.
So, all
Yeah,
right.
but you go back a few weeks ago, and I was talking to Bill and somebody had asked, and they're like, the same conversation a month ago. Hey, Phil, how many you got? You're like, got 7 yet? No. How many you got? And I go like, man, I got 2. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry I asked. I'm like, yeah, it's a little embarrassing because it feels like I got a lot more than that. It honestly does. But, man, they don't count the reserves or the thirds or, I've got a couple more that just didn't hit the numbers. There was 40-something teams or whatever. And then I peeled off one a few weeks ago at San Antonio. And then this weekend I got another. So now at 4, it feels a little more respectable.
Right.
Now I got a shot because if I was still sitting on 3, I'm like, man, 4 in 2 months is pretty hard. But, man, I feel like, if I could pluck one more in the next couple of weeks, then I feel like I got 2 months to do 2, and that feels a little more doable. But, man, we can't pick these things. I went like a 4-month stretch without a GC. I had a bunch of reserves and thirds, and, man, everything's a top 5, but it just wasn't GCs. So, man, they come in strings sometimes, and, man, all you can do is like the lady said is, man, turn in good barbecue, and you take the results, and you go the next week. So.
I see it. So what have you got kind of lined up in the next couple of weeks? Where are you heading?
Yeah. So, man, this weekend coming up is a little, obviously I'm looking for qualifiers. So I think it's a little limited. The best I've dissected is, I think Covington's got an outlaw. It should make it. They got 10 grand there. So, it's probably leading the list of CBA's got one in Amarillo, but, man, it's like 8 hours a long way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a qualifier or not. And then there's a couple Lone Stars, and they're kind of a ways away too. So, man, if anybody knows any, plug them up there. But, yeah, we're looking for a qualifier. So I'm thinking now it's probably we'll go to Covington, see how that works out. And then we're doing Fort Davis, that big one Jen and Joe have out there the weekend after that. And it'll be a qualifier.
Right.
And then, just week to week, whatever qualifier.
Just check them, find out what's closest to you and where you can get to. Yeah.
Yeah. We normally look, obviously close is good, but, we got to travel and we take into account payouts and qualifiers and, and we're normally at whatever cook-off gives us the best chance to, make $1 or whatever and catch a bung. So.
Yep. You got to do it. You're that close. Like you said, 4. Yeah. That's within striking distance. You got 8 weeks to get it.
Man, I think Bill peeled off like his last 5 in 2 months or whatever. So and I think he strung together 3 of them. 3 weeks in a row, and man, you go from what he was sitting at 2, and then I think he was sitting at 3, and then man, he hit 3 more. And he's on 6 3 weeks later. So yeah, it can be done, but we don't decide those things often enough. We're at the mercy of the barbecue gods.
That's it. Come on, Judge. Like my food. So, that's awesome. Well, we're going to be rooting for you. It'd be great to see you and Bill both representing Texas. Do you know of anybody else in Texas that's got 7? Because Bill's the only one that I know of.
Man, I think Bill's the only one in the world that has 7 right now.
Yeah.
To my understanding, I don't think anybody else in the world has got 7. So, it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Last year, I got 7 and autoed, and there was 5. I think there were 5 total teams, and 3 of those were from Texas. So
Randall got 7.
In the world have 7. You know what I mean?
It's just it's hard to do.
It seems like it should be easier than it is, but it's not easy to do.
No, it's nothing easy about it. Not getting 7 GCs in a year, so.
Yeah, not even that. We're in Texas, so, if it's not a state championship, it's got to be 50 teams. And almost every other state has a blanket proclamation that, every cook-off they have is a state championship as long as it has 25 teams. So, excuse me, the promoters have done a good job the past couple of years of doing paperwork and getting state championships for their events done. And, we've reaped the benefits of that and starting to see a few more teams out of Texas, get 7 or whatever. So that helps a lot when the promoters do that. It's very much appreciated from the cook standpoint. So I'll say that.
Right. Yeah. 100%. That's one thing. We are lucky in Louisiana. We only have to have 25. And that does.
Yeah. And you look at draws, Mike. What do you got? 15 events over there, something like that?
Yeah.
20 events maybe. So
12,
and then you
12
got
to 15.
Winners who have 2 or 3 guys that have 2 or 3. So man, you're looking at 12, 14 guys of picking that bung. And I know cooking 21 KCBS, I go to contests like, did you cook the jack last year? I'm like, no. oh, you didn't get drawn? I'm like, man, nobody gets drawn from Texas. There's 200 and something bungs in there, and it's 1 out of 200, unless you're Hector. Hector Villanueva, we've gotten drawn twice. So
Yeah, 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 I know it.
lightning strikes twice. So
that's right.
Yeah, we just
That's
don't
right.
count on that. I mean, it's it's just mathematically very slim odds. So
Yeah, it is. It is. The closest I ever got, I think, was year before last. Maybe it was the year before. I had 3 or 4 bungs. I think I had 3 bungs in for Louisiana.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, baby, I got a good shot. I mean, I think there's only 12, maybe 13 total. And I didn't get drawn. I was like, gosh, dog it, I want to go.
and it gets worse than that, Mike. In 21, there was a double up in Holdridge, Nebraska, KCBS, and my buddy Kip Parton, Texas Smoke Whisperer. Man, he ran it on day 1, just crushed the field, and then I GC'd day 2. And so, there were only 3 bungs from Nebraska. So we had a 33% chance, and combined we had a 67% chance of being drawn for the jack. And they drew high IQ, and Texas didn't go from that stage. So,
oh gosh,
that's when I said I'll never depend on the draw from now on. If I'm going to go to the jack, I got to get 7.
Get your 7 and earn it.
I don't feel like I'll ever have much better odds than that, right?
I know it. That's right. That's exactly right. Wow. Yeah. Make your own fate. I got 7. I'm going. I don't care about it. So there's Brady. Now Brady's had he's had his bung drawn a couple times, and Brady, did you go last year? I think it was you that got drawn last year. So I think it was Brady. I'm almost positive it was. So. Let's see. LC certified got me 2nd place brisket, and Honey Hole got me 1st in each rib and chicken about a month ago. That's awesome, Jamie. Cool. Nice. Let's talk a little bit about that real quick. You've got some new rubs out. I know the Hen Drench has been out a little bit. I don't know how long it's been out. Probably maybe a year. Yeah, okay, it's been. But you've got some newer stuff out. Yeah. Why don't we give you a chance, man, to talk a little bit about your newest stuff and what it was designed for and where it's best utilized?
Yeah, we've had a busy year. Last fall was working on some stuff, and I don't do anything fast, but I'd been working on a sweeter rub that I wanted, and which ultimately ended up becoming Honey Hole. I didn't really have any sweet options in my mind, just something just pour to sweet, get the honey notes in there. Really good pork option rib, nice color. And that was kind of my focus last fall of developing that guy. And we got that released here a month or 2 ago or whatever. And at the same time, I released Texas Hill Country Blend, which, I've had that developed for a couple years. I just really didn't I really kind of designed that as just like it gets old with the all-purpose seasonings, or right. To me, it's an everything barbecue rub. For me, it's super well balanced. Man, if you're going to cook 30 leg quarters and 20 racks of ribs and 4 briskets, man, just Texas Hill Country Blend on the chicken, Texas Hill Country Blend on the ribs, Texas Hill Country Blend on the brisket, and it really works that way. If I go to the deer camp, I just got to grab 1 shaker instead of 3 or 4, and so. And I do it to guys who cater and stuff. And I said, man, to hell with it. I'll just put it in a shaker. Really, like, competition's my game, but it's a good rub, and we'll see how it does and how receptive the market is to something like that. And man, it's done really, really well. I mean, the sales for Honey Hole and Hill Country Blend are almost neck and neck. And man, I've got a lot of great feedback. People are loving them. And a couple months before that, we released Rainmaker, which is our barbecue phosphates. And super high quality phosphate, specifically designed for big proteins, like our chicken, brisket, and ribs. And it's the ones we use in our injections. And man, I've wanted to for several years now. I've just offered that to the market. I use additional phosphate. So, man, why not give everybody else that option to use a super high quality phosphate? There's good ones on the market. I don't knock them or whatever, but ours is too. So, man, we have our phosphates on the market now. And, yeah, they've all done really well this year.
That's great, man. That is great. Your website?
LCBBQshop.com.
Okay, cool. I'll throw that up in the chat. LCBBQshop.com.
Yeah, obviously we ship all over the country daily. but we also like to support all the great barbecue stores out there that support our products. So, man, wherever you guys get your products, you know, we don't really chase retailers. They reach out to us, and the reason they do that is because you tell them, hey, man, if y'all don't have LC barbecue, and the more you ask, they'll put them in. They just want to sell stuff too. So if your retailer doesn't have our stuff, tell them to reach out to us. We'd love to be in there.
Okay. Couple questions for you, Phil. First one is, how do you use your phosphates with injections?
Yeah, so me, and I have the Rainmaker here. That's our Rainmaker phosphates. And this is the way I've been using them for several years now. I've got a ratio that I kind of like for each one. And I put that on the label, the exact ratio that I do. And 1 tablespoon for every 16 ounces of liquid. So you take that ratio, and that's how I multiply out to where I add, right?
Got a quart and 2 tablespoons. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the ratios I've used, and man, that's the ratio I exactly put on the shaker to tell you how I use it. So just say if it's foul play, man, whatever ratio of liquid to foul play I'm using, I'll add those phosphates to it. And I do think, you know, obviously with moisture retention, it's huge. And I think there's a tenderness aspect too that goes along with it, right? So yeah, we do. I get those questions a lot. How do you use them, this or that? And we're pretty straightforward. I've got on all of my injections starting points, and man, those are starting points, right? They're going to immediately get you in the ball game. And I don't know what rubs you're using. I don't know what sauces you're using, but on the injections or whatever, that's going to give you a ratio of a starting point for you to tweak upon, you know, if you want a little stronger or a little weaker or whatnot. So I do try to put it directly on our products of, you know, how to
get them very, very close to the ballpark, right?
Yeah, I mean, through the years, we all make changes, right? So,
right.
Man, you can't put 14 different ones on there and go, one of these will work. So, I just really give them that midpoint starting point that I would recommend to anybody on a first shot of doing it, and then just make the adjustments from there.
Yep, little tweaks up or down from there. Yeah, perfect. Yep. Brady Bodine, congratulations on your success, Phil. It's awesome. Yeah, you've done very well. It's awesome to. It's awesome to watch.
I left a lot of luck. I've left a lot of luck in that trailer you got. Man, you've done very well. I followed you ever since, man. Yeah. It's awesome to see your success as well. Congrats.
Yeah. All right, what's your weight on a competition brisket? What's your go-to weight on a competition brisket? You got something you generally like to cook?
Yeah, just as big as I can afford.
Yeah, big, well marbled. That's it.
No, seriously, I'll go a little further, but man, I'm running Wagyus right now. Back in 22, probably the first 6 or 9 months, I ran almost nothing but primes, you know, or Angus briskets, and getting ready for the Jack last year. I started back cooking a few Wagyus, and man, they've done well for me ever since. I'll go through phases or whatever, but man, I'm not scared to cook a well marbled prime. But and as far as what I'm looking for, man, obviously, man, huge big flats are sexy. Yeah. But marbling trumps all. So I'd rather a well marbled 15, 16 pound brisket over a select looking 24 pounder or whatever. But yeah, man, you give me a 26 pound Wagyu that's highly marbled, and man, let's go after it.
It's going to get cooked. Oh, goodness. Well, we've got quite a few folks on here now, 41 folks. So if y'all got any questions for the ladies or Phil, feel free to drop them in the chat. I've been trying to pop the questions up as y'all get them and or get them posted. And I'm going to give the ladies a minute to thank their partners, thank their sponsors, partnerships, whatever you want to call it. Any sponsors that you ladies want to thank?
Still don't have any.
Still don't have any.
Still don't have any.
That's terrible. Don't worry.
You reach out, and I think we're going to get some stuff together and shoot for the next year and get a banner going and try to help with the Royal as well. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I heard of next year. Did you hear that, Tracee?
I did. See, you caught that. I
caught it. I caught it real quick.
I didn't hear next year. I heard July.
Thank you.
It will be. It will be July. There will be one in July.
There you go.
There will probably be one sooner than we want, but yeah.
That's it. Good.
No, and
That's
we've
good.
talked and joked about, when we finish the IBC 8 points chase in June, take a little time and then heck, why not jump in something else and go for that.
There you go. That's
As
it.
Stephen Pfeiffer said one time, we're the wrench throwers. You don't know what we're gonna do. We just show up and throw a wrench in it.
Yeah.
So
That's it. That is awesome.
that's one reputation.
That's it. Okay, Phil, you gonna come out with a sauce?
Yeah, Mark, we're working on it, man. That's
Yes.
Good.
last fall was really, I felt I had 3 rubs at the time with rawhide certified and last call, but I felt like, I personally, like when I develop a product, it's what I want. You know what I mean? It's not really, man, I love having my stuff in a shaker. I love having easy access to all my stuff. So, man, I'm doing this kind of in a selfish way or whatever, but I share it with everybody, whatever.
Right.
Just trying to give quality products that people can use and go have success with. But yeah, wanting to finish out getting honey hole released and having that other option. And then obviously with Texas Hill Country Blend, I felt pretty, we've got 5 injections. We got 2 pork, 2 brisket, 1 chicken, and we've got phosphates. We got hen drenches of brine, 5 rubs, and man, being pretty, it's a great offering, and sauce has been in the back of my mind for a couple of years. Really, it just haven't had the time or to dedicate towards developing it or whatever. And remember, that's been our project. We started on it back in January. It's May now, so and if we have it out in 6 months, I think that'd be like fast. So it might be another year or whatever. But yeah, a sauce, maybe 2. We'll see how that goes. But or at least initially a sauce and a couple of glazes.
That's gonna be good.
Just trying to really add what I want to run. So
right,
if we can get those developed in that time frame, but it's in the works.
Good.
Yeah.
That's glad to hear.
That's exciting.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know one thing. Your dadgum ribs that you put in the box, I'll be looking at the picture like, how did he get them things so damn glossy? You and Bill Purvis both are like, good Lord, those ribs look good. And your pork, all of it is just, you got a great looking sauce on your product, no doubt. So, all right. So, ladies, let's see. This is David with Gunnar Wilhelm Knives. I know a good knife company. David, I can tell you right now, these ladies have been on fire. And if you're looking for some ladies in barbecue competition that's doing pretty good, I can vouch for these 2 because they have been on fire. So last 8 weeks, I've lost count of the RGCs and the GCs and the top 3 finishes. They pretty good company. So David is a great guy. He does support a lot of barbecue competitions. I don't know what kind of knives you knew, but all I can tell you is them Gunnar Wilhelm knives right there are some of the absolute best knives I've ever come across. And they hold a knife way better than anything I've ever had in the past. So he said, deal. So you might want to just screenshot that picture of that Facebook page and reach out to Mr. David. He's a great guy to work with. So let's see, left my ass out. Same here, Mike. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the dang pictures. I mean, looking at that picture like, what? How do you get that dang rib so shiny? So anyway, well, they don't have any sponsors, so they're working on that. Phil, what about you, brother? Anybody you want to reach out to?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's our 2nd year with Royal Oak Charcoal, and they've been a great charcoal sponsor for us. Their fuel's amazing. That's what we fuel our fires with, and they're just really good folks. U.S. product, high quality, and man, it's been awesome. So, thank you, Royal Oak Charcoal, and also this year, Carmen and I. Started last fall working with a startup company developing recipes for pre-cooked Hispanic meats. It's called Quirk Artisan Foods out of New Braunfels. And we got a 22,000 square foot plant totally renovated in like 4 months and USDA certified as of end of March and selling product going to California, Chicago. Anyway, so Quirk sponsors us as well. So big shout out to Quirk.
That's cool, man. I didn't know that. That is awesome, Phil. That's great. So
yeah, we do that in our spare time. So
yeah, I mean, in the spare time, cook. I go help those guys out a little bit, pay the bills. So Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. I remember when you walked away from your other job and, you could only take it so much and you're like, hey, I got the drive and determination. I said, just keep grinding, man. You'll get there. And you've got there, man. I'm so happy for you. It's so awesome to watch the journey, the barbecue journey that you've had of, when you cooked, how you got it, where you are today, your product, great family. Love you, guy. So
amazing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
really
appreciate
is.
that. Man, barbecue families, ladies,
Nothing
you're
like
right. Man, it's all the people. And it's the
Yep.
people.
Yep.
And it don't matter if it's in, the Houston
No matter.
area or Hill Country.
Kansas City or
Texas.
Kansas City. It don't
Doesn't
matter
matter
where
Anywhere
it's
Doesn't
at.
else in the nation, man, it's always that way. It doesn't matter where you go. It's the same thing. It's awesome.
100%. Well, guys and gals, ladies, we got to call y'all ladies. We love it. So,
Dustin-
Justin
Dustin started
Stanley,
that.
he
Dustin-
dubbed us
he-
with that from the very beginning. The ladies,
The
the
ladies.
ladies.
the ladies, you've got it. You've got it. So,
It could
what
be
did
the
he say?
leprechaun.
Mike, those are our girls.
We've heard that story.
Let's see. Them Julie and I to pick them up on our pro staff. Oh, I guess he's saying they'll.
And there you go.
Yeah, there you go. You guys, there we go. See, great things happen on board.
What does that mean?
And just like that, I've got you two sponsors. I've got you Dustin Stanley, and I've got you David with Gunnar Wilhelm Nice. Boom. There we
If you
go.
want to get off the show, you need to call Dustin.
That's right. Call Dustin. He's got right there. Those are our girls. So.
you.
Oh,
They will
goodness
always
gracious.
be Dustin's girls.
Oh, yes,
We'll see you keep
absolutely.
putting out those products, brother.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. I like
We
the wrench
love
thrower.
using your stuff.
Bill said I like the
Watching
wrench
how y'all
throwers.
finish in the IBCA rates. Good luck on this last month.
That's it.
Yeah,
y'all
we're ready
y'all
to
knock
start
it
back
out.
into CBA and Miss
just-
Competitive here. We one gear
just-
right now.
That's right. Just keep grinding. That's all you can do. Just
Ain't
keep
quit now.
grinding. Well, I appreciate y'all being on tonight, taking a little bit of time. We always love to hear the barbecue journey that everybody's down. You two are on an incredible journey, doing great things, loving barbecue, and we love to follow y'all. Keep
Having
the posts coming. Thank y'all so much, and thank y'all, ladies, for always giving Barbecue Champs a shout out. We really do appreciate it, and you guys are just awesome. So.
you.
With that said, here he is. Now, one more time. I know you wrote it down. We should reconnect. Yeah, he's probably talking to me. I did talk to him about a month ago. There you go. So, anyway, there you go. Take your friend request, David. And David, I am going to talk to you because I know some of the stuff we talked about a couple of months ago. I'm finally getting time to do that, so I'll be talking to you. As a matter of fact, I was going to try to call you today, and I just got busy. So. Let's see. Great show. Appreciate it. Let's see. Thanks, Mike, for hosting. As always, good to watch everyone's success. It really is. And that's what it's all about. Barbecue's about family, friends, and loved ones. We have a great time doing it. Nothing like the barbecue family. I hope everybody's enjoyed our show. Please join us, Lord willing, next Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. We will be back. And no telling who we're going to have. We're always looking for the champs that are out there and give them the spotlight. And that, to me, is what it's all about. And that's what our platform's all about. To take the little guy and escalate him to the big guy. And we all love it. I appreciate y'all so much. And as we always say, y'all go out there